Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So today was actually a pretty nasty day in the U.S. market. So why didn't it affect Bitcoin, right? Why is Bitcoin still so strong, right? I'm here to talk about that and talk about why. Why it's so significant to be in the top 2% of all Bitcoin holders, what it means to be in the top 2. And it's not as hard as you may think. So let's do this. Welcome, guys. Look at it. This is what I was talking about. Today was absolutely horrible. U.S. market's horrible. Dow down over 400 points, and NASDAQ down 250. And not only that, we had a first in U.S. history. Okay, we had Kevin McCarthy, who's no longer. He got removed. Very first time in history of the United States, ousted as a speaker, right? By his own party. And they did this supposedly because they didn't like how he worked with the Democrats to pass a stopgap funding bill to avoid a government shutdown. Okay, what does this mean? Wasn't he just voted in? He was just voted in, and now he's voted out. So I don't know what this means exactly. Does this have anything to do with the U.S. economy? I don't know. I do know that, yeah, we were talking about government shutdown possibly, right? I guess that was avoided. And then a lot of Republicans like, no, we don't like what he did. And then they ousted him. They took a vote. First time in history. Okay. But today overall was not good. Not good overall, right? 10-year Treasury also hits 4.8%, 16-year high. People are just really fearful about the economy, okay? And overspending, right? Avoiding a government shutdown means that we need to up the budget once again. We're already accruing $1 trillion worth of debt every single month, and somehow that's not enough for the government. So we needed to redo the budget. And basically, it's just going to make things worse, right? It just leads to more irresponsibility. And it just keeps going and going and going, right? It doesn't seem to ever stop. I also noticed DXY went up. DXY went up to 107 today, right? Actually, it went up to 107 already, but it's staying up there. So these are all things that are very scary right now, right? Very scary. But despite all of these things, oh yeah, let's not forget the SBF trial also started today. Right? Who knows what's going to come out of here? Maybe very nasty things will be coming out. And we also saw, I covered this morning, that a large deposit, like $200+ million worth of Bitcoin, also went into Kraken, possibly sold, right? But here's the thing. With all these things happening, okay, with the U.S. market crashing, with the speaker being removed, with the DXY skyrocketing, with Treasury yield skyrocketing, with FTX trial on its way, and a whale dumping Bitcoin, Bitcoin didn't move. It's 27,000 still, 27.3, right? Hardly a blip today. That shows you how strong Bitcoin is right now, okay? Bitcoin holders are damn strong right now. Their conviction is not wavering at all. That's why you guys are here. That's why you guys are tuned in. Because you know, this is nothing, right? Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting news, sort of. There may be a little volatility, but overall, Bitcoin is the way. And we know there's so much coming up. Both Van Eyck and Bitwise, their leaders, are telling people that approval's on the way. Both of these guys think that, yeah, it's either going to happen later this year or next year. And they have inside info. This morning I covered how they said they have been having productive meetings with SEC. Not like before where they couldn't talk to anyone. But now they're actually talking to people, and it's very productive. That's why they think this will happen. It's right around the corner. Right? So, very positive. If this happens, very, very, very positive. Now, in case you've been stocking up, right, or you've been DCAing for a long time, right? Here's the good news. What does it take to be in the upper 2% of all addresses for Bitcoin? All it takes is one Bitcoin. If you are a whole coiner, if you own one whole Bitcoin, right, you're already there. You're in the top 2% already. And here's a fun fact. If Bitcoin absorbs 10% of the global assets, okay, which is valued at 400 trillion, that means one Bitcoin equals about $2 million. So think about that. In 10, 20, 30 years, if Bitcoin gets up, okay, to a $40 trillion market cap, which sounds silly right now, but as Bitcoin gets bigger and stronger and more scarce, it's probably going to get that way, right? So Bitcoin one day gets to a 40 trillion market cap. Well, your one Bitcoin will be worth $2 million. That's a whole lot, right? That's the thing. It doesn't take that many Bitcoins to get you. Now, if you have 10 Bitcoins, you're in a 0.35%, right? Top 0.35%. If you have 100 Bitcoins, you're in the 0.04. Now, this is just among Bitcoin addresses. We know addresses, many people have multiple addresses. So, I mean, that 2%, which represents 724,000 addresses. Really, what does that mean? Does that mean there's 724,000 people? No, it's probably like more like 300,000 or 200,000 people. So if you have one Bitcoin, you're already in the upper 1%, maybe even less than that, of the entire population, right? Because there's so little people out there that actually hold Bitcoin. So if you're looking at yourself in terms of the global population, you're way up there. You're in the upper 0.01% probably, right? And that's the thing, a lot of people think that you have to go with alts, you have to go with smaller caps, and that's how you make money. That you can't possibly make money with Bitcoin. It's already too big. It can't climb that much. But even this cycle, Bitcoin could be doing a 10x. That's just this cycle. What about the cycle after that? Maybe another 5x. And then a cycle after that, maybe another 3x. Yes, there's diminishing returns, but you're compounding. You're compounding this 10x with this 5x with the 3x with whatever. And one day, we may end up with $1 million or $2 million per Bitcoin just by holding one. Just by holding one. And you can't say in 20 years or 30 years with 100% certainty that any of the altcoins that exist today will be around. I can't say for certainty that in 20 years that Ethereum will be around or Cardano will be around or Polygon will be around. I can't say that. But I can say with 100% certainty that Bitcoin will be around, right? That's the difference. So long-term, Bitcoin is one to hold. But it's so significant just to hold even one Bitcoin, right? Becoming that one whole coiner, because it makes you already in the top 2% of all Bitcoin holders out there. And it makes you probably 0.01% of all Bitcoins out there versus the population of the earth, right? And it's still doable. It's definitely doable, right? I know it's hard. You got to dish out 27,000 right now for one Bitcoin, which is much more than 3,000 before, right? But in the future, when people are paying, for Bitcoin, and when it's at $300, $500 million, it's going to cost a lot more, right? So it's still cheap. And here's something else that backs that up, balance on exchanges, a scarcity factor. I mean, this is pretty obvious, right? Self-explanatory. The balance on exchanges keeps going down, and this will never stop because there's only so many Bitcoins out there and so many being mined. This will never reverse. You'll never see this reverse back up again. This will only go down and down and down and down more as time goes on. You won't see this reverse because Bitcoin, unlike the federal government, right, cannot just print more Bitcoin, cannot just release more Bitcoin. It's based on a schedule, governed by code, controlled, right, by the miners that are spread out around the world, right? Unlike the federal government that can punch a few more zeros in the computer and we have more money, right? Of course, that's going to lead to bad things, which already has, but it's going to get worse. But not for Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is scarce. Yeah, I said a lot there. Okay. Now, what else is there for Bitcoin? Just a few other things. In terms of how it's moving right now, here's Bollinger Band sequence. Sorry, I can't talk today. This is showing a 4-step sequence. Right now, we're looking for the 4th mark, I guess. A lot of people think the 4th mark is somewhere around, 40,000, 48,000. It's also a Fibonacci level, right? And then after that, that's when usually we go on a parabolic run, right? And that's probably closer, either end of this year or closer to the halving event next year. Regardless, it's close. It's very close. It's less than 6 months, right? So, and then here's something else, right? I mean, this is also pretty self-explanatory. When you have a 1 bad down year, you have 3 good up years, right? And then you have 1 bad down year, 3 good years, and then 1 bad down year. So it's 2023 going to be a good year. Yes, because we started the year at $16,000. So will we see a green year this year? Yes. And then what about 2024? Yes. What about 2025? Yes. Pretty easy. Pretty easy to identify that pattern, right? All right. What else is going on? Some Cosmos news. There will be a synthetic version of Bitcoin in Cosmos ecosystem now called NBTC. Usable across 50 app chains. That's a lot of chains that now has access to Bitcoin, or at least a synthetic version of it, right? And just this morning, it was also reported that they're getting USDC. So Cosmos is moving forward in a big way. Not only do they have Bitcoin, they have USDC. And what about their token economics? Right now, Atom seems to be stalled, right? We don't see that upward push. We don't see that buy pressure, right? Well, they're going to try to address that at Cosmosverse 23. They're going to address that very question. Like, how do we get more buy pressure on Atom? Because Atom is actually, Cosmos is actually a truly terrific ecosystem. This L0 that they are providing is fantastic. And there's hundreds of dApp chains, L1 chains, that are built within Cosmos ecosystem. It's really fantastic. They just need to figure out how to improve the token economics. And hopefully they do. Hopefully they do. All right, what else is there? The Judge Torres, rejects the SEC motion to appeal her Ripple ruling. So this is absolutely huge. Basically, Ripple has won. Ripple is not guilty of illegally selling XRP, and XRP is not a security. This is awesome. This is really good for XRP holders, right? So, yeah. There you go. And XRP did pump a little bit after this, right? It's still pumping. I mean, technically, up 4% today. XRP is holding at number 5 right now. Yeah, so congratulations. So Gary Gensler lost once again. Gary is not looking good for him. I bet there's a cushy job for him at BlackRock. Okay, that's the end game. So he's lost this. He's going to lose. He lost against Grayscale. He's going to lose against Coinbase, and spot Bitcoin ETFs will be approved, right? So I mean, he's getting ready to step out into a cushy job at BlackRock, in my opinion. So. Yeah, so there's that. And then lastly, no, that's it. You see a media price jump. So that's good. That's good. All right. That's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. Let's see. I was talking about midlife crisis before I started. Jose was saying midlife crisis is real. Spent my last dime on this dip. Well, that's not too bad. There's worse ways of spending your money. All right. Let's see here. Weakness must be removed. Okay. Am I putting a jumbotron in your ball court? No, I'm not. I'll put a TV in there, and I'll be able to stream in there, hopefully. But yeah. Kazan Wei said, when it came time to hold a line on spending, Kevin did absolutely nothing, right? So, yeah, so see, this is the argument, and I can see it both ways, but overall, we know that irresponsible spending needs to stop, right? You can't just let the spending continue, especially when, as a government, as a country, we are broke. We don't have money. That's why we're at minus $34 trillion in debt. And we keep accumulating more debt. You know, it's not sustainable, right? We need to do something. We need to change something. But Congress seems to have forgotten that and just let's just things go, right? It's like all these band-aids to make things run now, but overall you're hurting the entire engine, the fabric of what money is, right? Sort of. I just made that up. I guess that's why he was outed, right? But overall, it doesn't matter. If they replace him with someone else, we need someone that will just say, hey, we need to stop. I forgot to change the camera angle. Oops. Do you agree that futures market are giving powers to be manipulated in the market? Yeah, dream tech, that used to be a big thing. But now Bitcoin futures ETFs, they don't really move the price anymore. Before, yeah, but now I think it's just no one cares about them. The volume is actually quite low too. XRP is pumping. That's right. Let's see. Heaven Almighty, appreciate that. Joseph says, I love ADA the most. Yes. 2 nights at Miami clubs or buy BTC. You mean 3 nights? Yeah, I mean you're right. You're right. I don't disagree with you. That money could have been used to buy Bitcoin. Yes. Feed my hopium. Hopefully I did that. Today overall, still a pretty good day. Of course, XRP leading the way. You should cover the SPF trial. No, I don't have time. If there's anything important, yeah, of course. When is BitBoy going to become a host on the CRU Plus? I did actually text him today, but I didn't really offer that. I just said, how are you? Hopefully you're doing better. I saw your new studio, blah, blah, blah. I did not get a response. So I know he has you know, things that he has to work out. So what system do you use to calculate your exit prices for your position? Thanks, brother. I use Delta Investment app. So that's the one app that I use to track all my prices. So, I mean, that's really it. You know, like I just take profit when I feel like I need to. At this point in my life, I only sell if I really, really need the cash. Like really need the cash. Otherwise, I put it all in crypto, right? So as for selling into stable coins, I think it's just important to keep like 25, 30% in cash. That's really it. Yeah, see? This morning I played the awesomest video about XRP, and then look at what happens. They win. They win. How do you get to 1 BTC if you're poor? Hey, you got to figure that out, man. You got to hustle. Get a side job. Go flip some things, you know. Go rummage through garage sales. Find things that you could sell. Find things you can sell in your own home, right? There's a lot of things you could do. You know, I have this really good idea for a video series. I'm just too lazy to do it. Like, I think that'll be a great idea for a video series. How to turn $100 into $100,000 in this bull run, right? And the premise of it is like every single episode, which is once per week, to figure out how to make at least like $100, right? And you use that to buy crypto with. And you could do a variety of things. You could just go mow the lawn for someone, right? Or do car washes, or go rummage through garage sales or thrift stores, right? You could buy things online and do arbitrage. You could do a number of things, right? And then every week you use that, and you put into crypto, and then you stack, right? And you stack it until the bull run comes, and then you turn that into $100,000. I know that is 100% doable. 100% doable. It just takes some work, but 100% doable. I think that would be a really good video series. If anyone is a video creator that's watching this and they're interested in doing something like that, maybe for CRU Plus, reach out to me, because I think that's excellent. I think that's an excellent idea. As long as you put the work in, it could take off for sure. Brian, you should write a book. I can't write a book. That's not something I could do. Maybe I could have someone write a life story about me, but I can't write. When will you show your house progress? When it's done, probably. Right now, it's still kind of a mess. There's been updates, but I'm just going to wait until it's done and showcase it once and for all. But the pool progress, there's a lot of pool progress, I should say. The driveway is done. Looks amazing. A huge circular driveway and extra parking spots. You know, the garage is not done yet, but basketball court will start in a couple weeks. Deck will start pretty soon, but inside is pretty much all done. Yeah, I'll do it when it's complete. Been watching it since 2017. Now I'm a whole coiner. Wish I stopped day trading and started DCA a lot sooner. 2BDC soon. Thanks for everything you do. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you for a super chat. I mean, that's why I say a lot of traders, right? This is like think that they're winning, but when they compare it to just holding, they realize they should have just hodled. Sometimes that's what it comes down to. But I'm glad. Whole coiner, that's the whole point of this video. If you become a whole coiner, you're in an upper 2% of all Bitcoin holders already, right? And there's not that many. There's not that many. Only 724,000 addresses. But in terms of users, holders, maybe half, maybe a third of that. Only 200,000 maybe. So congratulations. And if you get to 10, well, you're in the 0.35%. I probably should not be drinking this because I'm still sick. But I'm feeling a little bit better now versus this morning. I know how to pay off the national debt, have the Fed print 33 trillion, and use that to pay it. Problem solved. Yeah, that's easy solution, right? I definitely have more than 0 Bitcoins. For sure. No worries about that. Did you hear the XRP news? I did. XRP won. There's not gonna be any appeals, right? Appeal denied. Or the motion to appeal denied. What is the most optimistic coin to give you a 10x? Bitcoin. Bitcoin do a 10x. Anything in the top 10 could give you a 10x, really. Besides the stable coins. First in U.S. history, McCarthy gets ousted, even though he was just elected in just a few months ago. Kind of embarrassing for him. And he said he's not going to run again. I mean, like, why would you? Are we getting Pelosi back? I don't know who. I guess they have to. Do they nominate? I don't even know the process in terms of selecting a speaker. Del Jung, I can't believe I'm watching a stream in real time. Finally relocating U.S. Awesome. I don't know where you were, but I'm glad you're here. 8:30 a.m. and p.m. basically Monday through Fridays. Almost every day. Did I figure out a place for WAG yet? No. But I'm trying to work on tickets because people asked to buy the tickets, right? So I am working on that. I'll have it like, you know, I'll have it at the lowest point at the beginning, and then like the price will start going up. But whatever the end price is won't be nearly as high as the other conferences. So working on it. I may have something again in Vegas in December because I'm an advisor to this project called Karate Combat, and they are killing it right now. And they were at Cypherpunk. They had this crazy panel where they invited people up to fight one of their fighters. That was the most exciting panel at Cypherpunk. But they're doing something. They're having a fight in December. So I might be organizing a party or network event for them. So I need to coordinate that with them. So I might have something again in Vegas. Miami, like the two most exciting cities to be in. Greg R, yes. Yes, I do. Significantly more. The Karate Combat thing was awesome. They brought in one of their trainers with a fighter, a promising fighter, and then invited 3 random people from the crowd to fight them. So Jay Chains went up, Adam Charles went up, and then Dreamer from DeFi Kingdoms went up. Dreamer actually has martial arts experience. He did okay until the guy just like lifted him up. You know, it was on the spot. They didn't assign any waivers in case people like got injured or anything. It was wild. It was really cool. But that fighter, you know, he was operating at like 2%. Like he was not trying. He could have destroyed him with like one kick or one punch. J-Star, it's not just me. The SEC's definition of ETH is a commodity that has never changed. CFTC deems Ethereum a commodity. Okay, so it's not just me randomly pulling it out of my butt. Both agencies recognize ETH as a commodity, not a security. John Gregory, I can't confirm or deny that, but you know, that's why I was asking, like, what is a midlife crisis? Am I going through a midlife crisis right now? I don't know. Maybe. Kyle Coffee. Wall Street memes to the moon. No. No thanks. Does your kids know what crypto is? Yeah, my oldest one keeps asking me, like when he gets money on his birthdays or like Christmas, you know, anytime he gets money, he tells me to put it in Bitcoin. So I'm proud of him. He actually understands. Not all the way, but a little bit, right? My youngest does not. He has some crypto, but he doesn't really care. Dude, I'm telling you, anyone, and I'm not just offering it to anyone, but like when I invite people to go with me to cities or to conferences or to parties, it's on me. I just feel like I'm responsible for paying, right? And I'm not cheap about it. So I usually cover, you know, accommodations, all the food, the drinks, the parties, everything, right? So you can ask people that has been hanging around me. They can vouch for that. It's probably stupid of me to do that, you know, because I'm just like spending crazy amounts of money. But maybe that's because I'm going through my midlife crisis. I don't know. Do OTC buys still count for liquidity entering the market? Yes. Yes. Just keep in mind, OTC buys and sells. There's only so much. I can't tell you how much liquidity there is. But when you have endless buying in the OTC market, at some point, there's not going to be enough selling. There's no sellers anymore, right? So it's not like an endless supply of OTC buys and sells. There will be a cap because Bitcoin has a set supply. So it's not like the US dollars where you could just always create more out of thin air, right? So just think about that. So yes, even though OTC buys may not affect the price now, but it's taking Bitcoin out of circulation, and that's important, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, Josh just put another video out on CRU Plus. You guys should all watch it. And it's kind of exciting. I didn't announce it yet, but I talked to Jeb. Jeb is going to be joining. So Jeb will be contributing in a couple weeks. Crypto Jeb will be putting out videos on CRU Plus as well. So that'll be cool. So it'll be Joshua Jake, which he has been absolutely killing it. Blockchain Boy, he has not submitted a video yet, so we'll see how it goes. Right? But I'm hopeful that he's going to put out some good videos. And Crypto Jeb, and I gave him a really good idea. And I'm still talking to more. Like, I love to have the channel maybe filled with like 4 or 5 really good hosts producing content so there's almost, you know, a new video every day. Right? So, yeah. But Josh has been absolutely killing it right now. Right? He knows what he's talking about. He's a smart dude. Smart dude. All right, guys. Bitcoin is still holding very strong. So, like I said, despite all the bad, negative stuff that's out there, Bitcoin is still doing its thing. Still leading the way. And good things are about to come. So, this is definitely a time to be holding, to be accumulating, to stay strong, right? And let the gains come to you. All right, guys. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.